Hey everybody, it's Chris here. Hope you're having a fantastic day and that you can hear me and see me okay, obviously. A little bit more relaxed today. We had 2 days of an incredible conference, and so today we're a little bit more relaxed here at the office. So anyways, today we were talking about how to beat procrastination and actually reach your goals. And this is actually related to a story. I had a call today with somebody that was interested in investing in the program, and well, we'll get into it right up front, and then I'll give you today's content. But the theme of procrastination was just throughout the entire call. Like, yeah, Chris, I want to do this. I know this. It makes sense, but Christmas is coming. You know what I mean? December is going to be slow for us. We'll start up in January, and I'm not one for slowing down, right? And so my thing is, are you going to let Santa slow down your business? I'm sure not, and I don't want you to either. So by the end of the call, we had kind of overcome the objection, and I thought that it was a really valuable exchange, and I wanted to share it with you here. So that's basically, at this point, like, Thanksgiving is over, right? We're getting into December, and people just have this natural inclination to be like, oh, well, business is going to be a little bit slower, things are going to slow down in December, and that's just not true. Go check the real estate board statistics for your marketplace for last year. People are buying and selling homes right up till Christmas. When you're excited about purchasing a house, yeah, sure, it's December, but it doesn't really slow down that much, or as much as we see a lot of people getting into. So don't let December slow you down. And technically speaking, because what we do here at the business is ranking locally for mortgage professionals and Facebook marketing campaigns in the financial services industry, right? Now is the time to be investing. Now is the time to push those systems forward so that in February and March and April, when all of the business comes to find you, you're already ranked, you're already there, you're already getting the business, right? That's the important part. So with that little diatribe over, I want to give you my personal keys to beating procrastination and just making sure that I get things done. So the first thing is planning. You have to know what you actually want to achieve and accomplish before you can actually go out and hit those big goals. And the way that I do this in my personal life and in the business is I try and focus on 3 specific things every quarter. And when I say 3 specific things, I mean 3 really large picture goals where if I hit them, I know that we're going to be ahead of target and ahead of plan for where we want to be in the business. And I look at those 3 things and then always get overwhelmed. Like, I'm always overwhelmed by the goals that I set for myself personally and in the business. And I found over time that the only way to really get them done is to chunk them down into really, really small pieces. And when you plan out on a very large scale what you want to do, all you've got to do is come into the office every morning with a sheet of paper, right? And on that sheet of paper, you have one small thing that you need to do each day before anything else happens in order to move you closer to that goal. And if you can do one micro commitment every single day to get you to that 1, 2, or 3 goal, ideally all 3, before anything else happens, you've essentially completed your most important work at the very beginning of the day. And that's huge for me. And I do that. By the time I get to the office, I sit down, I have time scheduled in my calendar. It's just like an appointment with a client. I always show up a little bit early, and I always do what I came to do during that time that's set aside, and then I get into the daily activities and making sure that all of my other responsibilities are taken care of, right? But you got to do your 3 things first every day. You will be shocked at the end of a quarter how much you can achieve and how many of those big goals that you can achieve. Now, so planning and scheduling. You got to have a plan as to what you're going to do and know what 3 things you're going to accomplish. You have to schedule the time in your calendar so it's just like an appointment with a client, so you get it done every single day, and then you need to analyze the results of what it is that you're actually doing. So what is your goal? Have it laid out, and are you getting closer through your micro commitments? Are you doing the right things to get you to your goal? So it basically breaks down into 3 simple things. You got to plan it, you have to schedule it, and then you have to analyze what's happening to see if it's actually working. So That's it. I mean, that's your real plan. You just got to make sure that you show up every day and get one step closer every single day to your goal. Now, I wanted to share with you just one other small thing. I've been creating a tremendous amount of content lately, and I've actually packaged it into like a little mini book that we're going to be launching either late December or early January. And it ended up being a grand total of like 55 pages. And for me to write 55 pages, for all y'all that know me, is like a Herculean task for me to be able to focus my time in front of a computer and actually get that done. And I followed this exact map to do it. And while I was going through the process of creating that content, I realized that I could almost not trick myself, but I could get myself to do these very large things that I'd have trouble in the past. I'd had trouble disciplining myself to actually get that work done by telling myself to do each small step. So I work in little half-hour chunks, and when I have to write, let's say for example, an ad for a client or a sales letter, right? All I'll do is I'll open up the document and I won't think about the large scale picture because I've already got that mapped out on the piece of paper. I don't need to worry about that anymore. I'll sit down in front of the computer and I'll say, Chris, what's the best headline you can write right now? And I'll write the headline and then I'll stop. And then what is the subhead? And I'll write the subhead. What's the first paragraph? Write the first paragraph. I know it sounds so overly simplistic, and some of you may be looking at me like, really? Do you have to do that to get work done? But for me, and just the way that I am, it has been freeing, because once I'm 15 minutes into a task, I'll look up and I'm 4 pages in or I'm 5 pages in, and all I've done is one little small thing, one step at a time. And by the end of my work at the half hour, normally I've completed the task, and I'll have all this, 3 or 4 other work sessions that I've laid out to do that task that are now completely open. And I get to take other tasks that are going to get me closer to my 3 goals and slot those in. And it's with that micro commitment and the micro focus that takes these massive projects, like writing a free report for your clients, or running a Facebook advertising campaign, or getting reviews from your past customers, or any aspect of your business that you're working on. If you say, okay, I realize this is a big project, I'm just going to do the next thing that has to get done, and then the next thing after that, and the next thing after that, do it for a half an hour, and then be done with it, and come back to the next day, you're going to crush it. I know you are. So with that, thank you for spending a little time with me here today. I would love it somewhere on these videos, there's going to be a little subscribe button, and I would love it if you shared this video if you're getting value from them. Again, I'm going to be doing these live videos every day for Monday to Friday, and I absolutely love your feedback. So let me know what you think. Share this with your friends if you would be so kind to make sure that you subscribe so that you get the notifications when they come out. So with that, I'm signing off for the day, wishing you much love, and I'm headed to yoga with my wife Robin for a little bit of awesome yoga time. So yeah, peace out, and I'll see you tomorrow. Later, everybody.